What do we owe the honor center?
Senator, can we get you over the microphone?
Washington weather that I really wanted to be here for. We just had a good meeting with the president, talking about what we've accomplished in the last 3 years, which is a lot. And I think it's important that we not forget the horrible place we were in 3 years ago, when over 3,000 people a day were dying from COVID. Small businesses were going under, hospitals were overwhelmed, schools were shut down, and we've come a long way since then. Unemployment now at 3.2%, which is pretty low. Inflation now going down to about 3%, rebuilding manufacturing. A lot of good stuff has been accomplished. But I think what the president understands, what I understand, is that while a lot has been accomplished, much more needs to be done. Much more needs to be done. Today in America, all over this country, you have people who are really struggling. Over half of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. Millions of people are working for substandard wages. Half of America has nothing saved for retirement. People are worried about what happens when they get old. Cost of health care in this country is outrageously high. We're spending almost twice as much per capita on health care as the people of any other nation. We're making some progress on prescription drugs, but we got to substantially lower the cost of prescription drugs so that we're not paying more than other countries around the world. There's a lot of work that has to be done, and I think the president understands that. So the message is a lot has been accomplished, much more has to be done, and we got to work with the American people, with working people, to stand up to the unprecedented level of corporate greed that we are seeing right now. And what you're seeing is large corporation after large corporation making huge profits, record-breaking profits. Their CEOs getting exorbitant salaries. They're raising their prices to levels that people have a hard time affording the products they're selling. So I think the message has got to go out to corporate America, at a time of unprecedented income and wealth inequality, when 3 people own more wealth than the bottom half of American society. You just can't have it all. This nation, our economy, our government belongs to all of us and not just the 1%. And I think that has got to be a message that we have got to see resonate all over this country.
Senator Sanders, we're heading into a very divisive campaign season right now.
I heard about that.
Americans widely say that they're dissatisfied with the job this president has done on the economy. You just cited all of his accomplishments. Why is that message not coming across?
Well, some of it, let me be honest, and I don't mean to be critical here. My experience, having a little bit of experience in this, is media itself is interested in conflict, not in talking about the real issues facing the American people. I want you to just think about it and tell me if you think I'm being hard on you. We are the only major country on earth that doesn't guarantee health care to all people, and we're spending twice as much per capita. How often do you guys write about that? I don't think you write about it very much. We have massive wealth and income inequality. Is that written about enough? So, in all due respect, I think we all have got to, and Congress has got to do a better job. Start talking about the issues that are relevant to the American people. And I think when you do that, this campaign is going to come down to a simple reality. On one hand, you got a Republican, and I don't mean to suggest all Republicans, I don't, but a significant number of elected Republicans in the Congress who believe in what? Cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, cutting Medicaid, and giving massive tax breaks to billionaires. Really? And on the other hand, you got a president who is trying, and I would go further than this president. I have disagreements with this president, but basically trying to stand up for the working class of this country. That's what this campaign is about. And I think I look forward to a real contrast of views between right-wing Republicans who want to cut programs that working class families need, give more tax breaks to people who don't need it, as opposed to those of us who are struggling for working families.
Senator, slightly off topic of your conversation with the president today, but once again, Republican leader McConnell had some kind of a spell while speaking with reporters in Kentucky. Should senators who have those kinds of apparent medical issues be serving still?
look, I wish, Senator McConnell and I disagree on everything, but I certainly wish him the best and hope he makes a full recovery and does what he thinks is best for the people of Kentucky and for himself.
Senator, did you and the president discuss the labor disputes that are happening in the country right now?
Tangentially, not directly, but I think the truth is, to me, one of the very bright spots in terms of what's happening in America now is you're seeing working people all over this country standing up and fighting back against corporate greed. And as some of you know, the Teamsters, I think, did an extraordinary job in standing up for their membership against UPS. You're seeing the United Automobile Workers now standing up and fighting back against the big three and demanding decent contracts for their workers. You're seeing young people organizing at Starbucks, on college campuses. So I think we are seeing a rebirth, and we did talk about this, of the trade union movement in this country, which means better wages, better working conditions for workers. And one of the other things that we touched on just a little bit is there was a piece in one of the papers today, I think, about how so many Americans have no strong retirement security. Pensions, in many ways, are a thing of the past. And we got to bring back the idea that workers are entitled to pensions. You spend your life working for a company, you know what, you're entitled to know that you should have a decent retirement.
Senator,
All right, maybe one more, yeah.
given what you just described about the state of the economy now, do you think there needs to be some change in the way this White House has been messaging Bidenomics and its...
But help them out and let them get their point. Look, I can only tell you,
That's not our job,
oh, no, it is not your job. But I'll give you an example. All right, I was in New Hampshire on Saturday, I think it was. I worked really hard on the speech. And what the speech was about was basically saying that I think the Democratic Party has got to kind of change its direction a bit, start focusing on the needs of the working class, taking on corporate greed, opening up its doors to young people and working class people. You know how much national coverage that got? Virtually nothing. All right. So what I would ask of you, and I don't mean to, it doesn't matter, the world will survive if I get coverage or not. But what I said earlier is I don't think that the mainstream media does a good job dealing with the issues, whether it's Biden or anybody else. So it's not helping anybody. What are the issues? What are his solutions? What are Trump's solutions? I think the American people deserve that.
So he sent you out here to provide...
No, he didn't send me out here to do anything. In fact, I've forgotten that I was supposed to even be here. But, all right, any last question? Yeah, ma'am.
Your home state had extreme weather this
We
year.
sure did.
How concerned are you about replenishing funds for FEMA?
I am very concerned. And I think, look, I wish I didn't have to say it, but I think you all know that it's true. Climate change is real. Everything being equal, we're going to see more and more extreme weather disturbances, whether it is the horrible situation we saw recently in Hawaii, whether it's what happened in Vermont, what's going on, I presume, in Florida right now. That's real. And we are going to have to develop policy, long-term policy, which understands that those disasters are not going away tomorrow. And while we work to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel and try to combat climate change, we need significant amounts of money to help Vermont, to help Hawaii, to help all those states that are experiencing these terrible extreme weather situations. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.